What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back with my troublesome Hummer. This truck has been causing me it's not been causing me any problems until the other day, of course, when I had to go 350 miles in one day. The AC decided to quit working. Now, when I first got the truck, the AC did not work, and then it started working. So I figured I must have hit a wrong button or something, because AC is ice cold in this thing. Well, when it stopped working, I popped the hood, and I found it had no caps on the service ports, and there was green fluid oozing out of them, which means probably, most likely, it just ran out of Freon. Well, I've got some new caps on it. That should seal it up. What you're supposed to do is replace the valves when this happens, and sometimes you can get by with just tightening the valves themselves. They're just like valves in a tire, a valve stem. You got a little tool and you can tighten them down. We're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna see if it's got any pressure in it, and we're gonna cross our fingers that charging this thing up and tightening down the valves might solve our air conditioning problem. So under the hood of this behemoth of a beast is a 6-liter Vortec engine. And let me tell you, 10 miles a gallon, I don't care. All day I'll drive this thing. Let's see there's nothing under there, it's dry. Was it this one? Yep, I can hear it spewing already. Now what I don't know is what type of a valve this is. You could look down in there. You can see the dye and stuff that's coming out of it. So it's probably a ball style valve. If it is, you're pretty well screwed. You got to replace the entire hose. Let me take this very expensive watch off before I go any further. Boy, that's the last thing I want to do is make a mistake wearing that. So we'll take it off. We'll take the ring off too. And let's find, it's a teeny tiny valve stem tool. It's got to be around here somewhere. God only knows the last time I used it. Great. I don't know where it is. All right, so unfortunately I can't find my valve tool, which is crazy. I keep it in the same place, and I rarely use it. It's not something that's commonly used around here, but I guess I'm gonna have to buy another one. So there's that. I was hoping I'd see it somewhere around here, but I know where I keep it, and it's gone. So my valve tool is missing, which means we will have to rely on our new caps to keep in the charge. We're gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn the air conditioning on auto. Let's just kick it up to max. Let's put it on vent. That's all the way up. And no air conditioning. All right, perfect. Now, let's come over here. Air compressor's on the passenger side. Obviously, it's not gonna be spinning. I had to use a chair to climb up into this thing. Nope, air compressor is not spinning. Here, a slight exhaust leak back here. We have a pressure switch right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but where that blue is, that is a pressure switch. And on GMs, these things are notorious for going bad. If that pressure switch goes bad, it won't detect the proper reading, the proper pressure, and it will not activate the clutch for the air compressor. So let's hook up a gauge, just a real cheap gauge, and let's see where she's at. I mean, I would think that would be plenty to get this thing to cycle on. So what you have to do in this instance is you have to try to manually force the compressor on. Now you could probably do this through an OBD reader. If you've got one that'll run diagnostics, you could probably force the compressor on. But if you don't have any of that, you're old school, just take this off, and this is a 2-prong. Take a wire and jump it between those 2 prongs, and it will force the air compressor to come on. Now, if you're really fancy, you have yourself some of these in different varieties. Monkey Wrench Mike has tons of these. So I'm gonna borrow his because most of my wiring is now being used to hot wire his stuff together. So I'm gonna borrow this. It's got a nice blade on each end, really simple. So kind of make it into a U shape like this and plug it in, see if the air compressor comes on. And there it is, I heard it. I heard the compressor kick. I can't see it though. but I heard it. I know it kicked in, so it's gonna be a pressure sensor. Super, super easy, because if everything else is working properly, this air conditioning should work. It looks like it's got the right amount of pressure in it. Let's see. Oh. Actually, that's not cold. Wait a minute. What? No. I swore I heard that compressor kick on. Let's take a look and see what the gauge says. Oh. No. Uh-oh. You know what that means? That means we've got another issue. This was not it. It's always this issue. Are you serious? Oh, man. Well, through some very careful diagnoses on my part, I have found the problem. How to get you in there to see it is a whole nother issue. I guess we're just gonna lay down here and let's see. Oh, there's a skid plate. Of course there is. Of course there is. Yeah. All right. That's no problem. Maybe I can get you. Hell, I don't know. I don't even know. Can we get through here? No. We kind of can. Okay, take a look. That's the compressor. You're looking right at it. Do you see the pulley? Do you see what's missing on the pulley? The belt. That's right. The clutch is engaged. She's ready to work. New water pump too, by the way. Take a look down there. Look at all this shiny new stuff. Very nice. Right, let me point. Let me get a pointer light for you. Right there. I'm pointing dead at it. There is the compressor sitting right underneath all that stuff. There is no belt on it. So the belt has left the chat, or very likely, it probably wasn't even the belt. It's probably the tensioner. I keep forgetting these engines have a quirky, they have a belt, a separate belt that goes on the crank and onto the AC compressor. And there's usually a little tensioner that sits there, and when that goes bad, well, off goes the belt. Unfortunately, I don't have a belt. I don't have a tensioner. I can't see anything. So it looks like we're probably gonna take off the skid plate to get a closer look. Now, if we're really lucky, we can get to all of this from up here. I'm gonna try this first because we have lots of plastic pieces. I'm thinking if we just take this off here, and that clamp's not even tight. Are you serious? That clamp's not even tight on there, so that should come right off. We take this off right here. We don't have to disconnect the mass airflow sensor or anything. I'll bet somebody's down here trying to figure it out before. The thing is though, is like the AC came back to life. It was working until it wasn't. And I didn't hear anything, and I didn't smell anything. It just was working 1 minute and wasn't working the next. There we go. Yeah, look, this whole thing's just falling out. Somebody's already been in here messing around. Yeah, so somebody knew. No biggie. I hope. I shouldn't have said. Oh, there's the belt, and there's the tensioner. Let's see if I can even get you guys down there. You guys ready to go for a ride? Let's see if I can get you down here. So there's your compressor with no belt. The tensioner is down there. The belt is sitting right there. It's literally right there. Just looks like we need to put it back on, maybe. Is that a thing? Can we even do that, or is that tensioner toast? This looks like a lot of fun. So maybe this would have been easier to do through the bottom. At this point, we'll never know. I've got this giant Icon tool, which is a lifesaver, by the way. Shout out to Harbor Freight. We are going to take off this belt and just try to slip it. There we go. Let's just get this out of the way. Great. The tensioner wants to go further. I need to be able to get down in here behind this belt, put the new belt, well, the old belt, back on. We got to see if this tensioner, I can't even get to it. The bearing sounds good, but we don't know if the tensioner is any good. I'm willing to bet the tensioner is probably trashed, which is why we're in this predicament. This is going to be kind of fun, guys, and not in a good way. Oh, hey, good to see you guys again. Oh, this would have been easier on the lift. This would have been a lot easier on the lift. Oh well, we're here now, right? So let's just do it to it. There we go. 16s in the back. Look like 15s in the front. Boy, those didn't seem like they were even really in at all, right? Huh. Oh, that's fun. Oh, we got one more back here. Yeah, that sounded stripped. For sure. All right. There's no room at all. All right, let's take off the 16. Move over to a 15, and let's hope I don't get squashed. I have no idea how heavy this thing is. I got a hunch. She's pretty heavy. I mean, it is a skid plate after all, right? Yeah, maybe it's not. Should I try to hold it with my head? Let's just hold it like this. There we go. Well, it can't be that bad. Hold it with one hand. There we go. Oh, man. Nice. I should have done this from the very beginning. Hey, I can access everything that I needed to access under here without ever taking off the belt. Well, since I've been hauling with this thing and working it super hard, now is a great time to just kind of take a look and admire the Moog components and the Rancho shocks. Ball joints looking good. Axle boots looking good. Transfer case, a little seepy, but not really. I mean, it's not dripping. Not dripping at all. A little seepy though. And up here, you know, all looks like somebody put relatively new components on this fairly recently. The belt, they went back with a factory GM belt. And that tensioner, I don't know about you guys, that tensioner doesn't look bad to me. Kind of hard to oh, we have a leaking, look at that. We found a leak. Can you guys see it? Oh, we're leaking coolant from the upper radiator hose. It's dripping onto the air conditioner, which is causing the belt to slip. Can you guys see that orange coolant dripping? Yeah, the clamp is not tight enough on that. We probably need to replace it with a worm style clamp. That's what's happening. The belt is getting wet, and then we're losing the belt. It slips right off. God, really? I mean, everything under here honestly looks really, really good. I'm very impressed. All right, so next. Where's my ratchet? Because I lost it. Oh, and my extension. I don't know where that went. You guys see it? I dropped some tools under here which required me to take off this this piece. Oh, there's the extension. There it is right there. Thank you very much. So see, I made things much harder for myself. Could have just done this from the beginning. Everything would have been just fine. And just like that, with the power of turning off my camera and not turning it back on again, we have a belt. There is the belt. All right, there's the tensioner. By the way, the tensioner's got great tension on it. It's a good tensioner. It's wrapped around the pulley. There is, you can clearly see there's some antifreeze on the pulley too. Take a look. You guys see it? See that orange right there? Uh-huh, we gotta fix that, guys. Hopefully, while I started it, the cooling system hasn't built up pressure, or we're gonna have to wait for it to cool down. Oh man. Oh, it's so nice having an empty lift over there that I could have probably used for this. This thing probably wouldn't have even fit on it anyway, to be completely honest. Okay, so now we got to put this, oh, is the lower radiator hose. My bad. Yeah, see, it's got this old style clamp. This is probably original. And the hose feels fine. I mean, Probably stand to be replaced. We're gonna need, yeah, see, I don't want to take that off though. I'm going to readjust that clamp and hope that that solves our leak, because otherwise we're gonna end up losing, we're gonna lose all of our coolant. That's just all there is to it, or a good chunk of it. I have more, but the last thing I want to do tonight is babysit and burp a cooling system on an old Chevy. So she's about 1/4 gallon low on coolant. We topped it back up. I did readjust that clamp. I don't know if that's going to do any good or not, guys. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I cleaned up the spilt coolant, and we're going to fire it up. I've got everything back together. Well, not everything, but the belts are on. It's going to be pissed off because no mass airflow sensor. That's fine. We'll clear the codes later. Right now, I just want to get it started. I want to make sure the AC comes on. I want to let it get up to temp. And I want to make sure that we don't have any more of these issues of coolant leaking so that belt doesn't slip off. Sounds good. AC is already on. And yeah, she's mad because the mass airflow sensor is disconnected. She's very upset about that right now. Oh, yep. There's the cold air. There it is. There it is. There it is. Nice cold air conditioning. Since we were leaking some, we probably want to make sure. I know it's going to be really upset over that mass airflow sensor. Like, she's not happy at all. We need to get a pressure reading to see if we're low on Freon. And I'm going to have to buy the tool for this again, even though I already had one. I'll have to buy the little tool. It's not expensive, so I can adjust that valve. Ooh, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Oh, really? Some GM vehicles are really finicky about the mass airflow sensor, guys. They get real upset. The way to fix that is simply disconnect the pigtail and let it set the code. I'm surprised we don't have a check engine light yet. Hold on, does this even have a working check engine light? Wait a minute, did somebody remove the check engine light from this? I don't see a check engine light. There's no check engine light. Oh, that's slick. That's slick. Okay, anyway, let's just let that run. Huh. Who knows what codes could be hiding in this truck, right? I think we're going to have to come back in a different video and find out. That could be fun. There we go. Compressor just kicked in. Man, she keeps trying to die. We're going to have to just disconnect. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. That should straighten it out. Come on. Figure it out. She's not happy. It's fine. Let's just make sure the Freon level is where it should be. It's dropping pretty quick, but it's still in the green. You notice the idle cleaned up. She seems pretty happy. You won't get any complaints out of me. Let's grab the infrared thermometer and let's just give her a quick, where is it? There we go. Give her a quick check on the center vents. I can't believe this thing's got no check engine light. Ooh, there it is. There's that cold air. Man, it's freezing. You got to find the right spot. You got to kind of aim it and adjust it. 61. I promise you it's colder than 61. There it is. 60. Come on. 64, 60. It's so hard to find like the right spot. Do we have it on recirculate? There we go. We should have max AC right now. It is ice cold. But fine, there it is, 50. Well, see what I mean? Like as you move around, 58, 55, 56, 55. Come on. 56. I'm not finding the spot, guys. That's what it's That's what it's, there's 50, 47, 46, quickly 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, and dropping, 40. Okay, that's the 38. That's what I was trying to tell you. She's cold, right? She's cold. They got me on the damn check engine. That's slick. I forgot about that old trick. Pull the bulb. No check engine light. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no check engine light. All right. We'll probably come back in another video and run a diagnostic just to see what we got. She's happy. We can also tighten down that valve next time we come back and mess with this. For now, we're going to use the cap. The cap will hold the pressure in. Believe me, it will. I've done this before. She's running great. My next question is, we do have some pressure on the cooling system now. We need to look down underneath and find out if she's still leaking. I'm hoping that just readjusting that clamp. You should never climb underneath a running vehicle, especially when you've got nobody here that can help you and your phone is nowhere around you. So look at the hose. And I don't know about you, you could clearly see where I moved the clamp, but I don't see any leaks coming out of it. Now, I'm not calling that a win yet. I'm gonna let it sit there, and I'm gonna let it run for a while, build up some pressure, before I decide to go through the hassle putting this skid plate back on again. And you can clearly see the compressor spinning. The belt is nice. The tensioner looks like it's doing fine. As long as we don't have any more leaks out of that hose, we should be good to go. So we got the auto fix doing what it does. I'm not going to show you guys the codes. I'm not going to show it to you. We're going to come back in another video because we got more work to do to this other than what we just did today. Although today that was my big goal. My primary goal today was getting the air conditioning working in this truck because it's starting to get warm outside, guys. And I thought we didn't have a check engine light. What's interesting is there it is right there. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it, or maybe there's a certain sequence. If you turn the key too many times, it doesn't come on. I don't know, but obviously check engine light is there, but it never came on. So it's not a thing of the bulb is missing. I thought somebody took the bulb and was trying to get me. Maybe not. I don't know. Here's what I do know. It is very rare that you buy something for this cheap, in this good a condition, that runs and drives this great, and when something goes wrong, you fix it for free. I mean, a little bit of time and some dirty hands, but it's fixed for free. I let it run and run and run. I let it get nice and warm, good pressure on the cooling system, no more leaks. So the belt should not slip off anymore. That's a free fix for air conditioning. How often do you get that lucky? Now we're going to come back in another video. We're going to do a diagnostic. I'm going to clear the codes right now. We're going to come back and see if anything comes back on at a later time or a later date. Here it is right here. This is what I've got for the old girl next, because I found out she leaks. Oh boy, some chrome on a blacked out truck. That's great. I didn't realize there was going to be chrome involved here, but this is the next job, guys. And while it may not be that big of a job, it's going to make a big difference because the lights, the clearance lights that are on now, they look horrible. Someone tried blacking them out, but they didn't do a very good job. Look at that. It looks awful. And somebody tried to clean them off, and they're just bad. So we're going to replace all of them, and they leak profusely. It's one of the most common problems with Hummers, whether it's a truck or the SUV, the SUT. It doesn't matter. These things are notorious for pouring water inside all over your dashboard, all over the headline. I mean, they just all over the place. And I recently got to experience that when I had water pouring through my center console all over my radio. It was lots of fun, and I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The clearance lights always leak on these, so you always got to go and find you some. So if you're going to be interested in seeing these new fancy, beautiful looking clearance lights, honestly, they're absolutely gorgeous. And I think they may be LED, I hope. Stay tuned, because this was a relatively cheap fix, about $78. Not as cheap as the fix today, but still cheap nonetheless, and definitely something really important to consider. You're gonna have to do it yourself if you ever end up buying a Hummer of your own. Now, I just learned something about the Hummer. I did not know this. I should have, but I didn't. This is a 3/4 ton truck. Seriously, I was just running the diagnostics and seeing what all was popping up, and it showed me that this was a 3/4 ton 4x4 truck, and I was like, well, look at the number of lug nuts this thing's got. That should have been a clue. Same thing with Cadillac Escalade EXT. I believe it's also, maybe, no. I think the Hummer is a 3/4 ton, and the Cadillac Escalade is a 1/2 ton. You guys are going to comment below and tell me. I'm shocked that this is a 3/4 ton truck. I mean, this thing is ready to work. Towing capacity is not great. I keep thinking it's somewhere right around 8,000 pounds, but I mean, it can tow. It does tow. Absolutely, it can do it. And I'm in love with this thing. I really love the Hummer H2 SUT. If you guys love these videos where we work and get things done and do them for free, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.